So today, Chelsea played Brentford and decided to lose, and to be the first team to lose to a certain club 3 times in a row. What on earth happened today at Stamford Bridge? I mean, from my own perspective, people will have different opinions, but I believe that what we set out to do was not accomplished. Reason? We didn't have the best players to do it. Not just the best players, but let's say the right players to fit into Chelsea, to fit into the Chelsea model, to fit into what Chelsea is. I do not believe that any of the players that we have signed have what it takes to play for Chelsea. Nicholas Jackson is way off. I mean, he's not good enough to be starting for Chelsea, but what can we do? That's all we have, so we have to make do with it. But what annoys me most is that Mauricio Pochettino, by no means am I calling for his sack, but that he has failed to instill into this team what he exactly wants them to do, especially with Jackson always drifting out of position. How many times did we create chance today that if he as a center forward was in his position inside the 18-yard box, inside the 6-yard box, we will be able to get a result, we'll be able to get a goal. We have been one of the teams that have lost games and pretty much creating chances, 20 chances, big chances missed. Of all the other teams, Manchester City, 3 big chances created, 2 chances scored. Why on earth can Chelsea mimic the same thing by creating those chances and scoring those chances? We were on top of the game in the first half. We played almost the entire half in the Brentford half. Nothing came out of it. Cucurella had a chance, he bottled it. Well, we would say he's not always in a position to score, but that was also another chance for him to put away. And again, coming back to the lineup, let's look at Mauricio Pochettino and the team that he gave today, he presented today to play against Brentford. Okay, we're coming from 3 games winning streak, right? And then you decide to play Dasisi as a right back. Now, Brentford had played a back 5. When Brentford plays a back 5, that tells you that they are expecting us to attack. Why do we have to play Dasisi and then Colwill and then Thiago Silva and then Cucurella? All defenders. But my main point here is this. Dasisi had nothing to offer us going forward. Had nothing to offer us. Yes, we want to say, okay, we want to defend the set pieces, right? We want to stop Brentford from scoring from set pieces. And that's why you decide to play Disasi. At the end of the day, we still considered from a set piece, right? From that throw-in, and then we forgot to mark, and then they scored. Courtesy of their centre-back that scored. Now, let's look at it this way. If Brentford were playing with 5 men at the back, why don't Mauricio Pochettino play a fullback in the name of Malo Gusto? Yes, James is not ready to start here. He's not fit enough to start and to play 90 minutes. Why don't we play Malo Gusto as a right back? Why did we have to play Disasi, who offered us nothing going forward? Now, I'm not trying to undermine what Disasi offers defensively, but when a team stacks 5 centre-backs or 5 defenders against you, it's because they're expecting you to attack. And that if you have a fullback that is not providing you that, you might as well. I think Mauricio Pochettino could have as well played a back 3 if he wanted to play 3 centre-backs and play wing backs. Malo Gusto could function in that. Cucurella could function in that on the other side. And make sure that Jackson stays in his position as a centre forward. We had a number 10 today. Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was a solid number 10. He was outstanding today, and I think he was one of the leading lights in Chelsea's game today. But again, Jackson drifting out often and often every single game to link up play and then not arriving in the box to do what he is signed to do for Chelsea is not acceptable. Because for me, that is what he should be doing. He should be in his position as a center forward in the box, in between the center backs, troubling them, making them aware that he is right there. He did not do that. And for whatever reason, Mauricio Pochettino does not insist and does not push him and does not make sure that he is in that position. And that is why, after everything we try to create, there is no finisher. There is no one in the box to finish it. And that is what my concern is with this team. And that is what my concern is with the signings that have come into the club. That every signing we've made, of all the players that we signed, there was no significant outright striker that was brought into Chelsea to be able to complement the midfielders we brought in, the wingers we brought in. And for one obvious reason, I believe that some of the players we sign are not good enough to wear the Chelsea shirt. They're not good enough to represent Chelsea. Actually, they are not even good enough to play in the Premier League. Noni Madueke, for me, he's not a player that should be playing for Chelsea. Yes, he came in from PSV Eindhoven, but he's not Arjen Robben. He is not anywhere close to a left-footed winger who can dribble in, who can cut back in, who can cross it, who can bend it, curve it, call it, and bring it in for the strikers to work with, or for the goalkeeper to try and save. Besides that one shot he took that hit the crossbar, I did not see any other thing else Noni Madueke did. Sterling, inconsistency. 1 game out of 5, he's the shining light and brilliant player and all of that. But after that 1 game, he's gone again into missing. And then you ask, what are we doing? Throughout this calendar year, we've only won 3 times in Stamford Bridge. And this season, the only team we were able to beat in Stamford Bridge was Luton Town. A team everyone could beat. A team, anyway, not everyone could beat them because, again, I think they won 1 game against Everton. But again, coming back to the team itself, we don't have anything. Look at the bench. We were looking for goals. Who did we bring in? We brought in a defensive midfielder. We brought in an 18-year-old David Washington from Brazil. I mean, what does that have to do for us? No offense to the players. They have made their way. They've earned their rights to be where they are. But honestly speaking, they have nothing to offer Chelsea when Chelsea is in search for goals. I believe that Chelsea should go out there in the January window and sign an outright striker. Now, one other thing that I think Chelsea missed when signing all these players that we signed was that, one, we decided not to bring in players with Premiership experience. Yes, we have Sanchez and we have David Reece James, and then we have Gallagher. But in the midfield, in the attack, Sterling, with his Premier League experience, his inconsistency is so annoying. I believe that Chelsea should have brought in 1 outright striker. Only Watkins from Aston Villa will not resist from coming to a club like Chelsea. I strongly believe that he will not resist from coming to Chelsea. But what did we do? We went out and we bought players from all around Europe, all around the world, and then have nothing. Almost 1 year on right now, we have nothing to show. And this is just October. And October, we are sitting 12th on the league table. 1 point below the team that beat us, Brentford. 17 points, 15 or 17 points below Tottenham Hotspur. What on earth have we become? Chelsea has become an average Premier League club. And if we continue this way, I do not see Chelsea making it into top 6, top 7. Not this season, not next season. Except we go out there in the January transfer window and decide to bring in a player, a striker, an outright striker that will occupy the defenders in the 18-yard box, in the 6-yard box, make them know that he is there, willing to fight, willing to score goals. Because with Jackson and with Armando Broja getting injured and recovering and getting injured again, Chelsea will not score goals. We can create all the chances that we can create. But if we do not have anyone, a striker, in the position to score goals in the 6-yard box. I was just watching Wolves against Newcastle. Look at Wilson, the Newcastle striker. Always in the 6-yard box. The goal he got for Newcastle, if he was Nicholas Jackson, he would be out trying to dribble. No offense to Jackson on his way. I like the way he carries the ball, he drives the ball, but his finishing product is awful. He cannot shoot, he cannot strike. I mean, we have to... And the goals that he has scored has come out of him being in the 6-yard box. The goals that he has scored has come from him being in the position that will help him to score. But once a striker always goes out to fetch the ball and then comes in, he will end up not creating and having chances to score. And why do you have a striker if the striker cannot score? It's better we play with a false 9. And that's what I think Chelsea should do in their next couple of games, because Jackson is not the man. Anyway, enough of my ranting. I am going to go watch boxing because I have lost the taste to watch football just by the reason of today's game. Waking up 7:30 a.m. here to watch Chelsea be destroyed and for Mauricio Pochettino to be schooled by Thomas Frank on counter-attack. I'm not going to go into the details of the tactics of the game, but I think from today's game, Pochettino is at fault with the lineup and with the approach, and also not insisting that players should do their job and playing them out of position as well. Anyway, that's all for now. I will see you tomorrow after the Manchester Derby. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day wherever you are.